afternoon, everyone. It's like good afternoon, Columbia Heights and Duke Ellington School of the Arts. We are so delighted. First of all, it was really a great pleasure to bring the wonderful artists that you'll be seeing today into schools to work with you. I didn't get a chance to come to Columbia Heights, but at Duke Ellington we had a really amazing experience with a wonderful global exchange. I'm going to let most of the introductions come from my colleague from Split This Rock, but my name's Jeanette McCune. I'm the director of our DC School and Community Initiatives programs here at the Kennedy Center, and it has been a delight to be able to welcome colleagues from across the nation, across the world, to come to the Kennedy Center and work with us and work with our students this last week. This would not have happened without Split This Rock, the brainchild, and this project being the brainchild of Jonathan Tucker, who many of you know, and I know some of you have belonged to the DC Youth Slam team of Split This Rock. So it's been a pleasure to collaborate with Jonathan and Split This Rock, and we look forward to working together in many more years to come to bring other international programs. But I'd like to welcome out Jonathan to talk a little bit about his work.
Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you, everyone. When I say speak out, y'all say loud. Speak out. Loud. Speak out. Loud. I need y'all to say it louder. I need y'all to be here with me. We got an amazing show for y'all, but we want to get some energy from the audience as well. So let's try that one more time. When I say speak out, y'all say loud. Speak out. Loud. Speak out. Loud. Speak out. Loud. Cool. Stay loud. Keep making noise. The artists like to hear from you. So yeah, my name is Jonathan B. Tucker. You can call me JBT. I work for Split This Rock. It's an amazing nonprofit organization. We're all about poetry and activism. We're all about using our poetry, using our art to speak up about important issues going on in the world and do something about it. And by doing such, we build community with one another. And that in and of itself, the building of the community, is a very integral part of the work that we do. And so I've been fortunate to bring students from Washington, D.C. over to South Africa, the capital city, the city of Tshwane, also formerly known as Pretoria. And we've been able to do that twice now already. And this is the second time we've been able to bring poets from the city of Tshwane over here. It's a really fabulous opportunity for us, and we're really happy that we've been able to take them all around Washington, D.C. We took them to some of y'all's schools. We've taken them all around the city, and we've been able to perform at Busboys and Poets, at Spit Dat, and at many other community venues, from the smallest open mic here to the largest stage that we could. So I'm about to introduce my partner over at the city of Tshwane, who's going to introduce y'all to the artists. But before I do, I just want to talk a little bit about why poetry. Right? Tonight you're going to be hearing spoken word poetry. And poetry has a lot of different uses in our world, one of which is very much healing. Right? Poetry can be healing for us when there's trauma going on outside, when there's strife, when there's conflict in our lives, within ourselves or within the world. Poetry can open us up and provide us new opportunities to make a better way. Our imagination can help us see a better world, but that's only if we can articulate it through better words. And so that reliance on the imagination, I think, is very important. And it's very much why these artists and myself as a poet, we seek creative language, and we seek the power to use that language in a way that we hope can make a better world. So with that said, I hope you really appreciate this poetry, but I hope it also touches you. And I hope you can feel it and really feel where these artists are coming from. Because all art, when it comes down to it, is about transferring that feeling, right? Cool. So I need y'all to make a whole lot of noise. Put your hands together, stomp your feet, scream and shout. Give it up for Ishmael Sabia.
Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, and good evening to those who are watching via live stream in South Africa. I'm Ishmael Sibia. I'm a coordinator and facilitator. I've been working with Jonathan Tucker, Split This Rock, the City of Tshwane, and the DC Commission on Arts and Humanities to create poetry exchanges between DC and the City of Tshwane. So I've brought 5 poets from the City of Tshwane here today, and they are the finalists of the Speak Out Loud Youth Poetry Competition, which was launched last year, which is a competition that enables the youth to speak about the social issues within their communities. So I'm gonna call up the poets so I can just introduce them to you guys. Can you please come join me on stage? So here we have Kabiso Vili, Zita Macheta, Mudis Sehote, 'Mantombe' 'Mngulwane, 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 'Man and Mthunzikazi Mbungwana. Thank you. So I really hope you enjoy the show, and I'll give it up to them.
Kapuf kapuf putek, kapuf kapuf putek, kapuf kapuf putete, katata, katek, kapuf kapuf putek, kapuf kapuf putek, kapuf kapuf putete, katata, oh, katu kutu kukak, kapuf kapuf putek, kapuf kapuf putete, katata, woo. Now that my village is global, catch me on Skype as I jump through windows, cause lately I'm feeling advanced. I come fast like I am the opening scene. I'm second to none. Drop words to the level of meaning, so I mind tricks and remove skeptics. Oh, my thought oasis creative, and God create Eve. This woman be handing over virtues, ideas erect like Paul Kruger's statue, watching over gates of Pretoria, where street vendors cross pavements like X marks the spot. I was caught thinking out of the box, so I jumped on stage to point with a view like when video killed a radio star, though life is not a movie. Some choose to be a copy, they are piracy, they play by the script like always be in character, but I would rather hear my sober state instead of being a careless father. See, careless fathers gave their children to factories that none profit. They still are without income, and debt collectors knock and come in to an empty bread bin. A home without food is a family that hardly sit around the table. Kapuf kapuf putak, kapuf kapuf putak, kapuf kapuf putata, kitete, kapuf kapuf putak, kapuf kapuf putak, kapuf kapuf putete, kitata, woo.
Yeah, round of applause for Zita. All right, coming up next is Mthunzikazi Mbungwana. Let's have a big round of applause for her.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Right, I'm from South Africa. My name is Mthunzikazi. We've got 11 languages. So my first poem will be shared in one of those languages. It's isiXhosa. I apologize if you don't understand everything, but just tune into the feelings that are inside you and just feel the poem, hey? Thank you so much. I would like us to pray, but please don't close your eyes in case you miss the blessings. Amen. Wawuthembisile wathi uza kubuya. Eqengqeleka iminyaka, abanye batyibilika, abanye babambelela wenyawo nanegama lakho. Unyana wakho uThemba wayekutshona eKapa ukukhangelana nawe naye zange abuye. Undiva uthi waphelela etilongweni ePaulsmo ebanjelwa izenzo zenkohlakalo nentiyo. Umafungwashe wakho yena ugcwele idolophu phaa kukomani. Uvuke ekuseni okuqokelela amakhoba utywala ukuze alala enxilile yonke le mihla zimthembende zona inzingo. Unomalizo yena wayekutshona eGoli, wafika eGoli wazitshintsha igama wazibiza uLizi. wacula eziklabhini sonwabisa amadoda ashiye ngasemva abafazi abantwana nesithukuthezi. Noba ndingazichaza ke mna ke ngeke undazi ngoba wandishiya ndisesesizalweni sikamama, umama lowo naye wabhubhayo samngcwaba ezantsi kwegadi. Oogqirha bayikhumsha bathi yi-depression. Ndithi mna ngumvandedwa, yindlala nokuphelelwa lithemba. Ubuyile ke ngoku wena ndoda ndini engathethiyo, ubuye sowufakwe kwibhokisana emnyama. Kuthiwa mna mandikungcwabe ndagqiba ndikhaphe ngenkomo. Iza kuvela phi inkomo ke wena wemka apha ekhaya ushiya zingasekho nje? Ndixolele mntana omntu ndiza kubeka phaa phandle ube lifa lezinja lempethu. Thank you very much.
Yeah. A round of applause for Mtunzikazi Mbungwana. Coming up next is Xabiso Vili.
Word. Hello, thank you so much for having me. So I really believe in an infusion of multimedia and poetry. So take a second to watch this beautiful video with me and read the words. We that have the great wall of China for a heart, living like we're so far from the middle. I want to touch you, to remember you. Stranger I haven't seen in decades. How I remember you, as if it was just seconds. How every second since has been an unbearable goodbye. A step closer to you. Through every stranger I've seen here, I've met you, praying they were not you. I know that if I saw you, I would lose you. So here I am, getting closer to you, and this time I will never let go. Can you see me stretching out my body so it's wide enough to hold you? Were you expecting me? I recognize that smile. It's the same one you gave me all those years ago. The shivers down my spine haven't changed. Your tears still make me lose my breath. How I've aged, and yet this moment is the same. Doesn't this table look like a wall somewhere in China? How long have I been walking up and down your eyes? You carry me in your eyes, I carry you in mine. I'm sorry I made you cry. How I made you cry. Loved you with a tongue caught on goodbye. 60 seconds to relive a lifetime. How I reached for you across time, and we watched our hands age as you met mine in the middle. We built the center of the universe, the apple in my eye, the core in my heart. Some poem by E.E. Cummings. This is where I carry your heart in mine, the center of this universe that's still learning to let go, to slip away into memory again. My love, we are constantly letting go, wiping away footprints from our cheeks. At least we got to live here once before. Now every time I close my eyes, I see you exploding behind my eyelids. Strangers look just like you, and I greet them all with hello. I've missed you.
Yeah. If that wasn't amazing, then I don't know what is. Coming up next is Mantombi Mngulwane.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Okay. So the poem that I am going to do is a heartbreak poem. So I've got this poem. No, I mean, I've really outdone myself with this one. I've got similes for centuries and metaphors for millennia, poetry for prophets and rhymes with revelation. Yet I shall never mention one golden sentence because it's another poem about your existence. My license to be laced as an illustrations lyricist lies in laying lines of legendary literature. Yet I will slice off my tongue before I let my lungs breathe and make another mention of your manifestation in my imagination. You see, because my words are too valued to be linked with the mundane obligation that is you. My time's too precious to be wasted on a man whose words are just letters combined but deemed to never be true. My thoughts are too precious to be misused on the far-fetched fantasies of your non-existent I do. And my talent is too pure to be dark and caged and restricted by the inadequate topic of how I long for your love to be true. How dare you penetratedly press your presence upon my poetry, seductively sign your significance on my sanity, ridiculously and wreckfully rest your rodent-like irresponsibilities on my respect, then tenderly talk your position back into the fortress of my heart's temple. He won't go. He's holding on too tightly like the final hug, trapped in my appendices as the undigested drug, as desirable to me as Eve's golden apple is, with a worm encased in it, as it is within itself as deceitful from the outside in to the inside out. But still I've got this poem, bubbling inside my vocal cords like a volcano overdue, with similes for centuries and metaphors for millennia, poetry for prophets and rhymes with revelation. I shall never mention one golden sentence because it's another poem about your existence. Thank you.
Ooh. Keep that applause going for Mantombi as we welcome on Mudis Tshwane onto the stage. Give it up for Mudis as the microphone comes on and he slowly makes his way to the stage. So another round of applause for him as we watch his loop pedal being set up. That is a beautiful, there he is, give it up!
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to play around here with my loop pedal and my words and put all of that together and see what comes out. beloved brothers and sisters. Today I embark on a journey into the unknown dark, never to return. Say your goodbyes to my shadow and let my incense continue to burn. The burden of my death eats away at the shaking shoulders of my dear friends. But I have to leave, because life is a prison, and the soul is like a bird, while the body is a cage. And I have hungered for my wings while locked up in this cave. I've been starved of my freedom and silenced by the grave. My back was covered with feathers, but they were ripped off at birth, because the sky abandoned me, and I was taken by the earth. But all my feathers found their way to me, and I've been lifted from this world. And now my friends will cry for me and speak to their heart's content. My mother is an irony, for her womb is left a dent. She's the seraph who gave birth to me. Her wings became my wishes, fulfilled in distant skies. I'll finally get to see them in all the splendor of her eyes. For she knows where I am headed, and for that reason doesn't cry. It's a terra firma of queer angels, where she found her strangest child amidst the vagrants of our cosmos, flying across the streams that make up God's veins, where honey is taught to bees before their furs buzz. And all of a sudden, there I was, at the touch of a Nephilim unknown. She awoke to conceive of me and gave birth to a dream. Unlike any other child, I didn't enter the world in screams, but beams of light and gleams of nights unseen. The stars have followed me since, tracking my every move. The scars on my back reflect when I sing. They serve as my only proof that wings are not foreign things to a child grounded in self, that kings are born crying just like everyone else except my kind. Those who only see love in a world that disregards them as blind. As a cherub, I heard the musings of other broken spirits who found the world confusing and the ground a bit insipid. So as a legion of cherubim, we would climb the highest trees in hopes to coax the sky into allowing us to pay the clouds a visit, wishing to reconcile. But our souls were juvenile, and the planet was our exile, where we were to learn the laws of gravity before we truly learn how to fly. For the greatest among us never needed wings, nor the sky, nor the clouds, nor the wind. They just needed to die before they died, to kill the ego and find weightlessness in their minds. For wings can never carry a rock, not even a diamond of splendid shine. So let go of your heaviness and rise to a light sublime. I'm here for my fellow angels, whose lives are tale divine, will regain the sky's forgiveness and fly amongst our kind. But will remain a slight bit different, because we'll have felt the pains of mankind, and we'll look down with compassion, and maybe come back from time to time to bring the others a few lessons on how to live a life refined to the purest form of passion, how to rise above the demands of all the world's obsessions, how to find peace and align with the words of the greatest wordsmiths, to understand the divine truth in God's greatest confession, that humans are better than angels, for they were designed to withstand agony and still come out enlightened. And that's what's amazing about us. That's what makes us the envy of every Nephilim, for our resilience is unbounded, and our strength is beyond all question. Humans are angels. Angels are actually just humans before they're born. Stripped off our wings, our souls remain torn, but feather by feather we we will find, and further we will fly. The memory of the melody of our melancholy can be heard in the songs that we paint and the paintings that we sing, in the sculptures that we dance and the dances that we sculpt, in the poems that we dream and the dreams that we write, in the sketches that we beat and the drums that we draw, in the citadels we blew and the trumpets we built, in the pyramids we grew and the skyscrapers we planted, and all the mantras that we cast and the spells that we chanted, in the killing of the Jews and the rising of a prophet, in the companies we sued and the consequence of profit. In everything that we do is a concentrated effort to find the divine truth that all of us are angels, from murderer to mystic to prostitute to priest to revolutionary to dictator to philanthropist to thief, to you the listener, and to I who speaks. Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you very much, guys. So we're gonna have another round. We're not done yet. We're gonna have another round of everyone coming up again. If anyone has any questions, we'd like for this to be interactive. If anyone wants to say anything at any point, please feel free. If you want to ask questions, we just want to talk to you guys and we want to share. So yeah, you can do that now while we're here. You can do that afterwards. But we hope you're enjoying it, and we're going to come again, and we hope the second round is even better. Cool. I'm going to call up Zita Macheta once again.
You all guys have to agree with me, man. We got a lot of talented people here, eh? We do, eh? Big ups. Yo, thanks a lot, fellas. Yo, that's very nice, man. Well, I got a chapbook out, just recently published it. It's titled Bits and Pieces. I'm gonna read a couple of poems from it, and I hope you enjoy. But then before I do that, I'd like to just touch on South Africa as a country and what exactly South Africa is about, because now we've been getting a lot of questions from you guys, from other guys, that is, trying to find out exactly where in Africa we from and what kind of Africa are we from, you know what I'm saying? So I'm from the city of Tshwane, which is the capital city of Pretoria. Now, South Africa is a country within a continent. Now, Africa is not a country. It's a continent, and it's got like close to 52, if I'm not mistaken, 52 countries, which obviously, when the colonizers came to Africa, they divided everything, and then that's how we got separated as African people. Some were shipped over to this side, to Europe as well. So, as you can see, man, as you can see that we are a normal people. We are a people of a very rich heritage. We are very blessed. We come from a continent that is wealthy. That's got all the resources that we need. That's got lovely people, lovely cultures as well. And even our cities, we got beautiful cities in Africa, eh? I will talk about Joburg, I will talk about Pretoria and Cape Town as well, because those are the cities within my country. But we have cities like Dakar, which is in Senegal. We've got, there's plenty. We've got Cairo, which is in Egypt, So if you all have time and if you all have money, South Africa, or even Africa as a whole, is a continent to visit. People are welcoming there. People are warm, just like you guys, by the way. So let me just get into these poems a little bit. The first poem that I'm going to read from this chapbook is titled The Memorial. It's a poem that I wrote in memory of this guy named Stephen Marema. He was part of the group that came to be known as the Mamelodi 10. Basically, the group was just a group of activists who were protesting at the time of apartheid in South Africa, like back in the 80s, 70s. But then, unfortunately, this group, all of them were abducted by the police force at the time. And none of them was ever found or seen again. So we don't know exactly where these guys are. There's been hints there and there of where their shallow graves are, but we're not really sure if that's them, So I wrote this poem remembering the strength of my people. I sketch your smile from beyond your grave to provoke memory of a fractured past, of petrol bombs and chemicals. I build words instead of stone for your memorial to appease your blood. Flames of your body burning light up our dreams, dreams that mount on strange deaths. Yours is an anthem that holds our lives. It's a story we tell when we gather around the fire. It is measured in twilight and poor people, and it is worth every human right that weaved our struggle. Ah, look, our constitution written with blood is left to dry in the sun, but I am afraid the heat of the sun is too cold. Thank you.
A round of applause for Zita Macheta. All right, he's gonna do his next poem.
I'm gonna do my last poem.
Yeah, hook it up, man.
This poem is titled Marikana Massacre. Quite recently, like it was in 2012, on the 16th of August, I think, yeah. There was an incident that happened. You know, we have miners in South Africa. We still have mines. So our miners were protesting for higher pay. They were receiving minimum wage, so they wanted something extra so they can take care of their families. But then what happened is that the police came through and then the police shot them. People were shot and they died for really protesting to have enough money to take care of themselves. So I wrote this poem. Bring on the helicopters to block out the sun. Forget security guards, bring police with a gun. The miners demand 12,500. Bring on the journalists, news channels to report on this. Political analysts, try analyze this. The miners are angry in Marikana, hostile attitude, neighborhood checkpoints like in the Gaza Strip. Bring on inyalas and barbed wire. The miners will come with spears and machete. Police open fire, police open fire, police open fire. Thank you.
Yeah. Word, man. Thank you very much. All right, coming up next, once again, for the last time, she's gonna kill it this time. It's Mthunzikazi Mbungwana.
Thank you again. We've got this book out, so I'm going to read from it. Home is where the mic is. You can find Jonathan or one of us. And you can support the art. This poem I'm going to read to you is titled Dumile Feni. Dumile Feni was a visual artist that died in exile before we celebrated our freedom in 1994. He was a visual artist and he was also an activist. But now what you realize, he was very famous in other countries, but not his country of origin. So this is to remember him. Thank you so much. It must be sung in low key, but not too soft and not with haunting keys. There will be no burning of white candles and women in heavy black regalia, because here we are not mourning. This is a song for Dumile Feni. It won't be belted out of a well-layered stomach of a mezzo-soprano. The goosebumps might cage us and make us weak. The song won't be of up-tempo beats. This is no time for celebration. Silently, the rubbish man infiltrated our spaces. Although we can't remember his face, his broken soul that yearned for warmth is visibly unavoidable in his ash-drawn portraits. He told the stories of the neglected majority. Their names will never hang on street poles. This is a song for my son. This is a song for your son, Zoli Dumile Mqaji. He cocooned himself under the name of Dumile Feni. Zweli Dumile. The world heard him and lamented. His country rejected him, reduced his art and his pulse to rubbish. They suffocated him to death. Silently, the rubbish man sketched his heart out. The West dragged him silently and exploited his talents to glorify themselves as the messiahs of the black man. from poverty-stricken Africa, the same Africa whose resources they looted after making her children slaves, feeding them lukewarm food that didn't flatter the palate. Who is Dumile Feni? No one knows. Who cares? No one cared to listen. They were busy feeding the ones ready to be slaughtered. They forgot to water the plants of the future into blossoming black lilies that will never wither. Over the 1,000 hills, he continued to express himself. Foreigners heard him, or at least they pretended to hear him. They claimed his fortune, shone on his shine. This is a song for Dumile Feni, a lonely boy who became a man ahead of his time, a man who was brave enough to search for understanding, for the link between death and birth, religion, spirituality, and fantasy, evil and good. Dumile Feni kept on sketching, oblivious to the ticking clock, the setting and rising of the sun, as his father had prophesied at birth and said, Zoli Dumile. Only after his death did his nation hail his name as one of us. Thank you.
A powerful poem. Let's have a powerful applause for that. Coming up next is Thabisovili. This is Thabisovili. Give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't feel it.
Thank you very, very much. I'm gonna quickly open up the floor for one question. Anybody want to ask anything? There's a question right there. All right, excellent question. Thank you very much. I always struggled to express myself. I was a very awkward child. I spent most of my time in the library reading books, and I had this big imagination that I just didn't have the words to express. And then through reading, through hearing poetry, through starting to write, I was able to express all the images in my head into words and able to communicate with my peers and to get out of my shell. So it really helped me to explore the outside world and also to internalize that outside world and to externalize my inside world. Word? All right, cool. All right, let's do the poem. Feel free to close your eyes if you want to imagine it. I have been on a pilgrimage to a kingdom made of your scars. If only to learn what it is to love you. I've met your ghosts here, those who died crossing the chasm of your soul. They have built a palace to protect your breaking heart on top of a mountain of your sorrow. Queen of a crumbling castle, I don't trust the air up here. The oxygen too thin for breathing. I've learned to inhale your bleeding. You don't live in the land of the broken without breaking. What is the city of hurting you've built on your skin? I have not come here to save you. No superpowers to protect your metropolis from the earthquake of your pulse or the flood of your tears. What paths are these you've carved into your cheeks? Where do they lead? I will follow them. Unearth your skin. I can only promise to learn to love your horror. I have been on a pilgrimage to a kingdom made of your scars. Behold the enchantment around you. God, how she has made you. You've got a church in your DNA, a helix singing hymns. You're a spiritual experience. Dragons come to rest here, smoldering soul, aura made of charcoal, fire sprite. Take my burning heart, it's ashes now. Lend me the powers of your phoenix kiss. We've been here before. I've read the braille of your skin-grafted scars like cracked desert sand. I, nomad, who has found the survival secrets of the koi sand beneath your searching tongue. Is this oasis when you say you love me? I wonder what the stars look like here. Can navigators still find their way home? Are their gods still etched onto your palette? Do your lighthouse eyes come on when you cry? What ships have come to harbor on your ocean lips? I, a stowaway, have come to rest my head here. Sleep beneath your breath. Let your lightning strike me. Scream in the eye of your storm. Rip me apart, kingdom of scars. I don't want to be a foreigner here. I have wandered these dusty streets and broken houses, searching for your memories. What kind of apocalypse has created this? Where have all the children gone? And the birds, and the crickets, and the barking? In what silence has beauty learned to meditate? I think I can taste your atomic bomb on the tip of my tongue. You must speak the language of explosions. It is all I hear when I visit your past. Have you left it behind? Or does this city run on a nuclear core? Do your lovers still suffer from the effects of your radiation? I have been on a pilgrimage to a kingdom made of your scars, if only to learn what it is to love you. These ghosts and their castles were perhaps not protecting your heart. This mountain I have scaled must have been a warning. Will you let me fall like the rest? I will decompose beneath your ground. I will grow to become another scar. I will carry another holy brick to your crumbling altar. Strike me down if you must, because I can't leave now.
Oh my goodness! Amazing! All right, we're gonna have Mantombi Mngulwane come up. Yeah, she's coming up for the second time as well, and she's gonna murder it this time. Another round of applause.
Thank you. So, my surname is Mngulwane, and that sound is actually a C. That's one of those interesting facts I thought I should give y'all. The second poem that I'm doing is called Beggar. His journey's birth, foot blisters and scars, less clothing and blackened, cracked lips. Odors that seem familiar for the worst of reasons. Eyes that radiate a blankness about them that is hard to comprehend, darting back and forth like paranoid pigeons. The frames that hold the windows of his soul have been broken into, and all that remains is a rotting brain. But somehow it's okay because he's there. Here. I pickpocket these streets for a little more than coins. Eyes closed because it takes more than sight to have vision. I use to express my imagination. Fantasies seem a lot more realistic than fate. I've been judged before understood and saved before lost, the honesty being. There's no difference between them and I. We're all run by our desires and urges, at least I know the price of mine. We're a Rubik's Cube generation, expected to be solved before it's sent into society with no great war and no place in history, damned to build and break these streets to fulfill our self-esteem. I am but a simple man, exploiting my imagination and fantasies before this dirt returns to claim me. Thank you. The second poem I'm doing is called Can I Help You? Can I help you? Can I save you from the lower to middle class back pain stress of the success that you haven't accomplished? Can I deliver you the dreams you can no longer create because of the fine line between destiny and fate, which you are destined to faithfully? Can I release the tension of perfect expectation placed on your shoulders by people who have never tasted perfection? Can I help you? Our product promises to deliver nightmares and sell you dreams. Our luxury pricing will make you believe you are of upper class, but your bank balance won't. We will measure you out as one of our own and own you with our standards of measure. But you need this. You need our treatment, not cure. You need to believe you fit in even to places where nobody fits. We can help you. With our elixir of extended death, we can guarantee you a substandard life, filled with the almost victories of a life insurance that will never pay off when you die because your bloodline says you were never alive. Despite our ridiculous campaign and poorly acted adverts, we can promise you a way forward. Thank you.
Woo! And that was Mantombi. That was an absolutely lovely performance. Next up, we have the poetic stylings and musical musings of brother Mudis Sekhote. Give it up for him one last time as his loop pedal. Give it up for the loop pedal, first of all, as it makes its way up onto the stage. And next up, give it up for its counterpart, brother Mudis.
Traveler once said to me, throw away your compass and map if you really want to arrive. Crush your navigator and dismember your radar if you truly want to find. Follow the wind. See your northern star during the day, for the darkness in your heart can bring out its shine. Don't be shy. Ask the flowers for directions and follow the walking eagle whose wings hold up the sky. Listen to it when it speaks. Never wish to fly, for you have already arrived and are alive. Attune your footsteps with the tortoise. Move as if not to disturb the air around you. Do not disturb the nothingness. Be calm, my child. Speak as though in silence and the night will listen. Sleep, my dear angel. Don't be afraid to be alone. We don't belong here anyway. We were brought to collect the tiny dust particles that fell from shattered stars. So look carefully, but don't search. Let them find you. We don't have enough time. Eternity is too near to people like us. We have stretched too far beyond our time. The truth haunts us, so stop yourself from living. Stay still and fulfill love's will. Don't work to improve yourself. Your already perfect form lurks underneath your sleepy eyes during dim-lit skies. You don't need to prove yourself. Your presence evokes a heavenly essence in all those who see you, settled and content in sitting in emotions of stillness. My dear child, you were brought here to swim. The ocean of earthly consciousness loves and embraces you, smiling with every wave. Be open, keep looking, but don't search. The universe will speak to you, but don't listen. The way will be shown to you, but don't use your vision. The universe will speak to you, but don't listen. The way will be shown to you, but don't use your vision. Instead, meditate. Keep your eyes closed and legs locked until you levitate. Let the world forget you ever existed. Kill yourself as soon as the sun sets, but don't rise. Let the night last forever. But before that, one's never to cry and to save as much water as they can for the coming drought. For without our kind on this planet, it ceases to rain. The oceans follow us back to our home, for their purpose here has been fulfilled. Empty the rivers in your pockets onto their palms. Tell them to keep their hands open and quench their thirst only when they see the sun again. For there will be no need for them to mourn. For you will not have left, but will be lodged right at the base of their fragile hearts. Tell your mother you love her, and that she was the heavenly gate that led you into this village called Earth. Give her a piece of your soul. Tell her never to give birth, for her gates were bolted with your arrival. The last divine seeker had been produced, and then it was done. The cycle had been completed. Finally, the top of our spinning planet will come to a stop. All this will be naught. Humans will be wiped off the face of it like snot. There'll be no trace of them but their scent, which will linger until time's tail is cut off and its head crushed to a pulp. But that's all that will be left. Not their voices, not their actions, but their scent. There never was a need to move. There never was a need to speak. Only angels in inner mountains waiting for you to reach the peak. All was planted within you. That's why you'll never find what you currently seek. So go back home. Let the oceans follow. Remember to leave your loved ones with the rivers in your pockets. Do not plant outside yourself. The fertile ground within is the only place where you can reap. Take your lover with you. There's a reason you recognized her. She was the weaver of your dreams. But even now that you no longer dream, you can awake to her beautiful face every morning. Tell no one of your departure. Let them feel it with the coming winds and remember the mystery in your shy eyes. Let them wonder of your demise as they did of your life, and then let loose into the ether of the sun's youth, my dear child. Follow the coordinates of your djembe hut. Remember to ask the flowers for directions and follow the walking eagle whose wings hold up the sky. right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call up the rest of the group, and we are going to bow for you and thank you for being here with us.
The Speak Out Loud poets, y'all, all the way from the city of Tshwane. Thank you all so much for coming. You can check out speakoutloud.co.za to find more information. Our hashtag is Tshwane, the number 2, DC, Tshwane 2 DC. And again, thank you to the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. Thank you to the Kennedy Center, specifically the Education Division and the DC Partnership Schools and Initiative. Thank you also to the City of Tshwane, the government, the Arts and Culture Department. A lot of people have come together to make this thing possible. If y'all are interested in getting involved here in DC in some spoken word poetry things, Split This Rock runs the Louder Than a Bomb DMV Teen Poetry Slam. And that is happening April 30th and May 1st, and the finals will be on May 7th at the Gala Hispanic Theater. But yeah, check out splitthisrock.org. We have after-school poetry clubs all across DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Poetry is for everybody. Everyone can do it, and we all benefit from it. So if you're interested in getting involved, please do. You have an important story to tell, an important voice that we need to hear, and one day we would like to feature you up here on this stage. Thank you once again. The poets will be coming out if you want to buy any of their chapbooks or if you just want to talk to them and tell them how much you love their performance. Y'all have a great day and a great evening. Thank you so much. Peace.